Every day, I look out the window and think, oh my God, it's so beautiful.
An hour and a half and you're at the ski slopes. An hour and a half and you're at the ocean.
For me, this country has undoubtedly been the best place to live in all of Latin America.
People come here, fall in love, and stay.
What is expat life? It's a life with no boundaries. Today, the country you live in feels like where you belong. Tomorrow, something shifts and you move, starting a brand new chapter in your life. Our world has already changed. 50 million people now live as digital nomads. They work online and move their lives, their families, to the expat capitals of the world. To Sydney, Bali, Singapore, Dubai, Cyprus, Barcelona, Lisbon, New York, and Toronto. Nomads are also heading to Silicon Valley, the Riviera Maya, and Costa Rica. And right now, an expat boom is taking place in Chile.
We looked at the globe and couldn't think of a better choice than Chile.
It's like the USA, but 5 years behind.
Plus, it has a strong passport.
With this passport, you can be a super traveler with all borders open to you.
Hello everyone, this is Anatoly Latayev. I'm an expert in expat living and flag theory. And on my channel, I explore the best places to live on our planet. Today, my search has brought me to a country that is opening up to the world as one of the fastest growing and most promising destinations for expats. This is Chile. Almost no one really understands anything about Chile, and that's exactly why, to me, it feels incredibly underrated. Chile gained independence in 1818. The country is only about 200 years old, and in that time, it has transformed from a colony at the edge of the world into one of the most stable and economically developed countries in Latin America, even surpassing Brazil and Argentina. When we decided to move somewhere, many factors came into play. Location, climate, safety, economy, and education for our children. But what really matters is how we actually feel when we're in the place we're considering as our new home. In this film, I want to show you why, where, and how expats live in Chile. And I'll start with the key indicators of the country. Safety. Over the past 150 years, Chile has not participated in any wars. There are no ongoing internal conflicts in the country and no clear signs of any emerging. Chile ranks among the world's strongest economies. In terms of economic freedom, Chile is on par with countries like Cyprus, South Korea, and Canada, and scores higher than France, Spain, and the United Kingdom. The level of corruption in Chile is comparable to countries like Israel and the United States. The healthcare system in Chile is at the level of Italy. It's better than in Brazil and significantly better than in Poland. When we live in one country for a long time, we usually don't dive deep into researching other places to live, and we don't evaluate them based on our own criteria. That's how stereotypes appear. For example, when people talk about Chile, they often think it's a country at the end of the world. How do you even get there? And won't all your belongings get stolen the moment you step out of the airport? The reason for all these assumptions is just a lack of information. So let's start with a quick geography lesson. On our planet, Chile is the longest country from north to south. It is as long as 8 Portugals. Chile is cut off from the rest of the world. To the east lie the Andes, to the west lies the Pacific Ocean, to the north lies the Atacama Desert, and to the south lie glaciers and stormy waters of the Drake Passage, leading to Antarctica. Such geography has made Chile an isolated and unexplored land for centuries. But precisely because of its geographic location, it's a country with incredibly diverse nature, where you can find almost every climate zone. In the northern region lies the Atacama Desert, which is considered the driest place on Earth. At some weather stations, it has not rained for over 400 years. The landscapes of Atacama look like the ones on Mars.
We have seen the real Mars here. We're on Mars.
We're on Mars and we don't need spacesuits,
Yes.
right? NASA is testing its Mars rovers in Atacama. And here, astronomers test their telescopes and observatories. Because of the near-zero humidity, The air is incredibly clear, and the sky is so transparent that the desert becomes a natural planetarium. In terms of climate, I'd compare central Chile to Spain or California. Here's the capital, the bustling metropolis of Santiago, squeezed between mountains and the ocean. Southern Chile is Patagonia. It's a land of untouched nature, forests, mountains, lakes, waterfalls, fjords, and glaciers. And if we move even further south on the map, we reach Tierra del Fuego. This is an archipelago ruled by king penguins. But Chile never ends with penguins. About 3,500 kilometers from the mainland lies the most remote inhabited place in the world, Easter Island. You can fly to Chile directly from New Zealand, from Europe, and from both North and South America. I've been to Chile before, and I came back with pleasure. I even took a selfie with the border officer, as if he were an old friend. I've landed in Chile again. It feels like being home. Maybe my third or fourth homeland, you could say. Whatever you want. It's just good vibes here. Chile is an emerging destination for expats, and to really understand what makes the country attractive, we need to look 200 years back. When the indigenous Mapuche tribe successfully resisted the Spanish conquerors. Since then, European migrants arrived in large numbers: Germans, Swiss, Italians, French, Austrians, and Croatians.
Shipping, trade, road building, and the development of agriculture, all of this started growing rapidly in Chile, especially with migrants coming from Europe.
People used to move here seeking a new life and integration. But today, the world is different, and a new type of migrant has emerged: expats and digital nomads. Today, Chile is actively attracting people who can work online. Digital nomads, entrepreneurs, IT specialists, and crypto investors are moving here because the country offers a stable economy, a comfortable climate, vast internet, and clear rules when it comes to taxation and legalization.
For working in IT, Chile seems perfect. The country understands the need for young specialists and developers, and there are certain tax benefits and incentives.
Nomads are a new kind of migrant. They value freedom of movement. Their home is by the whole world, and borders don't define them. This is the philosophy I also live by. In Chile, I met expats who moved here from all over the world. They all have extensive experience living across different continents and in different countries. I was curious to know why each of them chose Chile as their place to live.
It's one of the most developed and successful countries in the region. And again, the strong passport, the only one in Latin America with visa-free access to the USA. We chose Chile, specifically Santiago, because I travel frequently for conferences. I've noticed that there are areas of stability and reliability, both for investors and residents. For example, in Asia, it's Singapore, because of its strong legal, regulatory, and tax system. In the Middle East, it's definitely Dubai. And in Latin America, it's Chile. Santiago is like Dubai and Singapore combined. 100% in Latin America, this is where capital will flow, successful people will gather, and new startups and projects will be built. People will be eager to live here.
Our first encounter with Chile was in 2019, when we flew here to give birth to our first child. It was a real eye-opener. A great country, friendly people, amazing weather. Honestly, we were shocked.
Chile is attractive for living mainly because of its amazing climate and diversity of places to live. If you like sunny, dry weather, Santiago is for you. If you prefer a wetter climate, move to a big coastal city. Many people want to move far away. So much is happening in our world. Politics, wars, unrest. People move here for the feeling that you're safe, calm, and don't have to worry about what's happening in the US, Europe, or the East. They handle it there. We live peacefully here.
The people who make it all the way to Chile are usually either true adventurers because it's really far or professionals who found a job here.
We moved to Santiago from San Diego. So the story goes Tokyo, San Diego to Santiago. And the reason why we're right here in Chile is because my husband's work.
The plan was to come for 3 months, give birth, explore the country, travel a bit, and then leave. But everything changed, and we decided to stay here.
High-quality service, citizenship, safety, economic stability. So if you transfer money in different currencies, it doesn't fluctuate wildly. Excellent, highly qualified doctors, wonderful people, a great atmosphere, and an overall supportive culture where you feel comfortable.
For me, it's important to feel absolute comfort where I live. Then I can really create something worthy. Why didn't I choose the US? Because I didn't feel that comfort there. I think Chile is a country that offers multifunctional opportunities.
Here you can do really whatever you want. You can create a business, you can join a business. So here there's a lot of opportunities. I really like the fact that it's very in tune with nature. Like I can get, I'm just now looking behind you and there are Andes right there.
The country is amazing in so many ways. The nature is absolutely incredible, almost untouched, truly breathtaking.
I've traveled a lot and have seen 58 countries. With a job in IT, you have the opportunity to work remotely.
So why Chile in the end?
Economically, Chile is very promising. It's the USA 5 years behind. Then I learned about the renter's visa. You apply, wait about a year, get approval, and come here with a residency permit. You can live, work, open companies, bank accounts, and many more.
Getting a residency permit in Chile is a very straightforward process, especially compared to Europe or the United States. In Chile, everything can be done online or by visiting one of the immigration department offices in person. The most unusual place I've ever applied for residency. Somehow, it's a bit similar to Mexico. You can get residency in Chile through a work visa, study, family reunification, or rentier visa. There's also a visa for investors and entrepreneurs.
We applied remotely, online. It was approved within 6 months, and then we flew here. Now we're waiting for our permanent residency.
You can obtain permanent residency in Chile just 1 year after getting your initial visa. After that, you can apply for citizenship in 5 years. The Chilean passport is the strongest in Latin America. With it, you can travel visa-free to 175 countries. In terms of strength, the Chilean passport is comparable to passports from Germany, Monaco, Andorra, and stronger than those of Israel or Hong Kong. An adult expat can get Chilean citizenship through naturalization, but the process can take up to 8 years. A child, however, receives their passport immediately after birth.
If a child is born in Chile, they receive citizenship under the right of soil, jus soli, guaranteed by the Constitution. With citizenship, children get a passport that is one of the strongest in the world and the most underrated. It allows visa-free entry to the United States, Canada, all of Europe, Japan, New Zealand, and many countries across Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, including some destinations that can be complicated even for Americans or the British. this passport is truly special. For example, citizens of many G8 countries still need visas for certain member states, but Chileans can travel visa-free to all G8 countries. There are only 2 passports in the world with this specific level of access, the Chilean and the South Korean.
So how do you like this document? Do you know what this passport actually gives you?
Of course. And do you know why I came here to give birth? We specifically chose this place so that our child would have some bonus in life. With this passport, you can be a super traveler with all borders open to you. I hope Mia appreciates it and will travel a lot.
As expats, we choose countries to live in as digital nomads based on our personal criteria, such as business, climate, and other aspects. But if we are parents or planning to become them, we choose where to live based on what matters for our children and how we envision their future. Because our children can open new chapters of their lives anywhere and in any way, but the choice of where they are born and where they study, that decision is made by the parents. Today, giving birth abroad has become even more popular, and parents travel to certain countries they've chosen so their children can obtain citizenship there. In Latin America, countries that grant citizenship to newborns include Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, and Paraguay. The full list is marked on the map.
When I got pregnant with our 3rd daughter, we started looking for a country where we could obtain citizenship. This country turned out to be the most comfortable.
If we had a 4th child, where would we give birth?
Chile. I would choose to get citizenship in Chile all over again.
Citizenship is usually granted the very next day, while the mother is still in the hospital with the father, and the passport is issued within about 10 days.
We had a rather unusual registration procedure today.
We got registered.
Yes.
Chile once,
2 passports.
Chile twice. 2 Chilean passports.
This is the local passport, and this is the international one.
By that time, we already had 2 sons. One is Chilean, one is Mexican.
The first one was in Chile, and this one was during the pandemic when Chile was closed.
Do your children's passports end up being stronger than yours?
For now, yes.
From my perspective, I can say that it's actually easy to come here to give birth and even move to live. Nowadays, there are a lot of young people doing this. They're already of a new generation, and for them, there are no borders. Some even come here to give birth without speaking Spanish. Well, there's Google Translate, ChatGPT, anything you need. The world is becoming so open. Those barriers almost don't exist anymore.
In my opinion, barriers and borders do not exist. A person's freedom begins the moment they are born, free of borders. I know tens of thousands of people have relocated, and based on my own experience and interviews I've conducted in various countries, I want to share with you how to choose the right country to give birth in. I have personal experience to share. My son, Michael, was born in the United States, and my daughter, Maria, was born in Brazil. I'll be sharing my knowledge and our personal experience while giving birth abroad in future episodes on my channel and on the Borderless website. So, if this topic interests you, feel free to text me. When you have children, one of the key questions is, are we choosing the right country for them? For example, if you're living in Bali, Dubai, Miami, London, Prague, or Cascais, and you're considering Chile, would you naturally ask, how good is the education here? How do you choose a school? And how do you even move here with kids? Let me explain.
This is a great place to live with children. That's something I truly love about Chileans. They genuinely adore kids. There's a very respectful, caring attitude toward them.
It's super fun to walk in the park with a child here. There are so many parents to meet and lots of dads too.
And what about the infrastructure for children?
Swimming. I found ballet for kids, a class for fine and gross motor skills, and even music lessons. Using the Suzuki method, all of this exists here. Another thing that kids can go to daycare almost from birth if parents work. I think from 3 months old.
For children, adapting here is incredibly easy. Even though they initially didn't know the language, all the necessary conditions were created to help them integrate. This remains my top priority. In our case, for example, these are bilingual schools and kindergartens. What's really cool is that they also learn additional languages and start speaking almost at a native level. Right now, our kids speak 3 languages: Russian, English, and Spanish.
Before I tell you about how schools work here, I want to show you where expats actually live in Chile, because expats don't live scattered all over the country. Expat communities have already formed in specific areas. The most popular areas are in eastern Santiago, Providencia, Las Condes, La Dehesa, and the entire municipality of Barnechea. Some expats also live near the ocean, in the cities of Concón, Valparaíso, and Viña del Mar. New neighborhoods, modern residential complexes, and international schools are being built in all expat areas. That's the clearest sign that expats are moving to Chile. In Santiago, there are 17 international schools, and most of them have opened within the past 10 years. I've decided to visit the most popular one among expats, Chartwell International School. It's located in the La Dehesa district. This district is developing more actively than any other in terms of expat life. People are moving here from all over the world, and especially families with children.
We have 40 different nationalities represented at our school, from Japan, from China, from Russia, from Korea, from the UK, from South Africa,
the US.
We truly have an individualized system here at Chartwell. We only have 15 kids in each class. It's kind of like a home away from home.
We follow an international British curriculum, the Cambridge International Curriculum, and we follow that curriculum all the way through to the exams that we would do in the UK. So international IGCSEs, international A-levels, AS levels as well. And these qualifications are like super internationally accepted.
You might decide to move on a whim, and sometimes it's hard to get it all sorted before the start of the school year. At Chartwell, I found out how quickly students can enroll in the middle of the school year.
In Europe, the school year starts in September, whereas here it starts in March, which makes things very complicated, and it makes it complicated to enroll your child into a school. But we're really good about opening a new class very quickly. A lot of our kids sometimes will arrive, like for example, we just had a student arrive from Spain on Saturday and they started on Monday. All of our classes are taught in English, but they also get to learn French and Spanish. And a lot of the kids are interested in learning Japanese.
What are the prices?
In Chile, private schools can range from $50 a month all the way to $2,000 a month.
We have a week's trial usually for each kid so they can get to know if they like the school, how they fit in with the kids in their classes.
We all know what it's like to be an expat in a foreign country. And so we go kind of above and beyond to make sure our families feel at home here.
One of the key criteria when deciding whether to move to a country or not is health risk, because every country has internal or external factors that can affect your well-being. For example, in Brazil and Argentina, dengue fever spreads due to heat and humidity. In Australia, some people avoid living in Queensland because of one of the highest cancer rates in the world. People leave South Africa because of HIV, and they move away from Bali due to malaria and dengue fever. In Chile, the least favorable places to live are the areas near the Atacama Desert. Because of the intense sun exposure, there are higher rates of skin cancer in those regions. The standard of healthcare and its accessibility are also important factors. For example, in the United States, Canada, and Germany, the standard of healthcare is very high, but the prices are sky high, almost out of this world. Healthcare in Chile is among the best in Latin America. Many people from the United States come here to give birth, as Americans care less about passports and more about the quality of care. Due to the growing number of patients, there's a shortage of doctors. Expats often complain about long waiting times and rising medical costs.
Everything has its price. Most aspects of life here require payment. For example, healthcare, education, transportation, and even roads all come at a cost. Although there is public healthcare, Access is nearly non-existent without insurance. To receive proper coverage, you must pay a monthly fee.
For example, in the United States, health insurance starts at around $500 per month. In Germany, it can cost around 900 euros per month. In Portugal, it may be as low as 50 euros per month, but during the time we lived there, we often encountered situations where something was misdiagnosed or not properly examined. Sometimes we had to travel to other countries to see better specialists or consult doctors online. Health insurance in Chile costs between $100 and $300 a month. However, insurance doesn't cover everything.
Dentists are often the first professionals immigrants encounter. I had a positive experience because my doctor spoke Spanish. Here, an English-speaking doctor automatically means double the price. I guess because there's demand.
Honestly, in Latin America, Chile is the best country to live in. For real. It's the most developed country with the strongest economy. Argentinians might say, we're fine too, but let's remember what's been happening with the peso.
Currently, Argentina is going through an inflation shock. The inflation has reached 118%. For comparison, in Chile, inflation is only around 4.5%. This is a key signal for expats and investors. Previously, expats used to move to Argentina in large numbers, but now prices there have increased dramatically. I remember our trip to Buenos Aires about 5 years ago. Our family of 3 had dinner at a restaurant, and I paid around $75 to $85 for the meal. This year, the 3 of us paid about $300 for dinner in the same city. The strength of Chile's economy lies in its natural resources. Despite the dryness of the Atacama Desert, the country holds vast reserves of copper, nitrate, and lithium, the key material used to produce batteries for electric vehicles. Chile is the world's leading producer and exporter of copper. The country also exports wine, sweet cherries, and avocados. The Chilean peso remains relatively stable thanks to strong investment inflows into the country. The United States, Japan, France, and the United Kingdom invest in renewable energy as wind and solar projects. Investors receive incentives such as tax benefits, low-interest loans, and grants.
The Chilean peso is a very strong and stable currency. It's profitable to work and earn here.
So, what do I personally like here? Chile offers excellent conditions for business, without heavy oversight from authorities or anyone trying to take a bite out of your profits.
I help here with legal services, financial services, company formation, and accounting. We also handle currency exchange.
I got into cryptocurrency and stayed. I don't know if it would be forever, but it's been over 8 years. I work on and grow startups from small stages to large-scale projects.
You could say that cryptocurrency is a kind of a reliable friend for expats?
I agree 100%. I can't even imagine how I would transfer funds here, or how much I'd lose on fees without exchanges. All the people who actually use cryptocurrency, they're here. So I think this region is one of the brightest places where crypto is truly applied.
In Chile, businesses that contribute to environmental protection and sustainability are actively supported. For me, ecology is a very important factor when choosing where to move. I'm definitely not attracted to places that are harmful to nature. For example, areas where forests are being destroyed and not restored. Such large-scale deforestation is happening globally, in places like Brazil, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Indonesia. Only about 30% of primary forests remain on our planet. 70% have been degraded. In terms of absolute deforestation, Earth has lost around 800 million hectares of forest over the past 50 years. Chile is clearly not a country of ego. It's about eco. Here, eco businesses that restore and regenerate forests are actively developing. Phillips Company specializes in eco-development, specifically in timber-based construction.
It is the 4th largest economy in the world for the forestry industry, featuring at least 3 major certified producers of laminated wood. They are capable of constructing any type of house, including 20-story apartment buildings. Concrete houses leave a bigger environmental footprint, while wood construction is the most eco-friendly way to live. It's also better for the planet because harvested trees are replaced with new ones. If wood just stayed in the forest and rotted, it would create more problems for the ecosystem than if it were used and replanted.
I want to admit another superpower of expat life. When we moved around, it often feels difficult to live among people of different nationalities. But that's a misconception, because people aren't defined by nationality. They're defined by mindset and values. It doesn't matter where someone is from. Meaningful connections can be formed through shared thoughts and principles. By being open to new experiences, you create opportunities for deeper relationships. This is exemplified by Philip, who during his time in Chile, found both a friend and a business partner, who also happens to be named Philip. I met Philip too, and it immediately felt like we had known each other since school. That's something special about expat life.
We want to develop a brand that is regional or global, that promotes these values of nature, sustainability, wellness, well-being, longevity, all of these concepts all together under one global nation. Like we don't care where you're coming from.
Borderless.
Exactly, it's borderless. This is what I believe we are trying to bring into the business world, is develop something that allows you to move wherever you want because it feels right. And if it feels right, you know you will have a better quality of life and you will do things in a better way.
Now, Philips are working together on large-scale projects in Patagonia and on Easter Island, and this is really a unique case.
Easter Island is unique because there's not a single global chain there today. If you scroll through hotel networks, no one can operate there. It's probably one of the hardest places to run any business. Even Chileans with citizenship cannot create a company there without a partnership with a local native. Well, you can't call it anything else. Chile has virtually zero corruption, and people here all know each other. It's not about business, but about pride and values. If you do the right things with the right energy, they'll carry you forward like sails. You'll get a certain carte blanche for your projects. It's easy here. The establishment is strong and happy when someone shows attention and initiative. Like me. They probably see me as an alien.
Let's talk about our favorite topic, taxes. Residents in Chile pay tax on their worldwide income. Non-residents pay tax only on income earned inside Chile. Tax rates range from 15% to 35%, depending on the type of activity. For expats who have just obtained residency, there are benefits. During the first 3 years, you don't have to pay taxes on foreign income. After that, taxation follows a progressive scale. The higher your income, the higher the tax rate. Over the past 50 years, Chile has gone through events that permanently changed the country. And if expats truly want to understand Chile, they need to know this history. 1970, President Allende, socialism, nationalism, conflict with the USA. 1973, military coup. Pinochet's dictatorship begins. Repression, torture, harsh reforms, the fall of communism. 2019, massive protests over economic inequality. Chile is on fire. People demand Pinochet's constitution be scrapped. 2022, Gabriel Boric takes office. Promises a new constitution, but all referendums fall. 2026, right-wing conservative Jose Antonio Cast wins with 59% of the votes. A fan of Trump and Pinochet. Promises to curb illegal migration and cut national spending. Main goal, make Chile great again. According to 2025 data, Chile ranks 62nd in safety. At first, you might think, should I even go to Chile? What does 62nd place really mean? Let's compare it with stats from other countries. Chile's safety ranking is actually higher than France, higher than China, and twice as high as the USA. The states rank 128th. Yes, there's a lot of conflicting talk about safety in Chile, and it can confuse expats. I spoke with people who have lived here for years to see what it's really like.
It depends on what you compare it with. Compared to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, or Venezuela, or Bogota, Santiago is like Zurich. It's really great here. But if we compare it to relatively safe European countries, well, I've heard even in
Compared
Europe,
to Barcelona,
similar
for
things
instance.
happen. People living in Barcelona say basically the same thing happens in Santiago.
Sure, I've heard about phones or gadgets getting stolen, but there are also stories of people living here for 10 years without a single problem. It's just chance. Just because someone lost a phone in Chile doesn't mean the same will happen to you.
Chile is the safest country in Latin America, probably by a lot. In Santiago, at certain points, and in Valparaiso, about 90% of all crimes happen. And crime is usually petty theft, when someone snatches something and runs. It's not organized crime. Neighborhoods like Las Condes, Vitacura, and Low Barnechea are absolutely safe. You can do whatever you want, wear anything you like, drive a Ferrari or Bentley, and not worry at all.
I've researched popular expat neighborhoods, both in the capital and along the coast. And I want to show you each area so you can feel how it fits you. Does it inspire you? Let's start with Chile's capital.
Santiago is a modern, developing city with tons of international companies and excellent roads.
I was really surprised by how Santiago has developed, especially its business downtown. It almost doesn't feel like Chile, or even Latin America, more like New York, USA. Santiago's business center reminds you of Manhattan. Locals even call it Sanhattan. Look at how cool it is. The city is built with such a designer's touch. Honestly, I like this area a bit more than Manhattan. And to be honest, I've lived in Portugal for 5 years. And even there, they don't have a business district this stylish and well thought out. And you can find it in Chile. Las Condes is super convenient for expats, both for living and leisure. For digital nomads, there are tons of Swiss apartment buildings with gyms, pools, co-working spaces, and even game rooms. Rent here runs from $1,500 to $5,000 a month.
Santiago gives me a lot of things to see, to visit, great museums to study the culture of this place. There's always a concert, there's always an art exhibition, there's always a ballet play, there's always something for you to do.
And here's Manhattan Park. Tons of people. Kids, sports, you name it. The shopping mall and restaurants are awesome. Peruvian, Chilean, anything you want. Basically, this is a city that has it all. My personal rating, 9 out of 10. A great place to spend time. Many people say it's unsafe. But here, in the neighborhood I'm in, my phone is always in my hand. And I don't worry at all. My documents are here. My passport is here. Everything's right here. No stress. Tomorrow, we're heading downtown. We've got a serious athlete with us. Just in case. Let's see how it goes.
At this time, it's still not very safe here.
Is it still safe in the morning, or not really?
Yes, still not safe, because everything is closed. Few people are around.
Getting ready, right? Show me your strength. I'm not like that. We usually think city centers are prestigious places to live. In Santiago, it's the opposite. The downtown area has older buildings, cheaper rent, and a huge number of migrants from Venezuela and Haiti.
If you go downtown for business, always keep your bag in front, or if it's a backpack, keep it forward. Your phone in both hands. Always alert.
What is this? Are we really in Chile?
Yes.
It's important to remember that Santiago has 7 million people. That's almost the entire population of Portugal. And not all neighborhoods are the same. Expats rarely go downtown. There's simply no need. Everything an expat needs is in the well-off districts. Modern housing, schools, infrastructure, and safety. I came downtown just to film material for this video. It's important not to think all of Santiago is like this. Downtown and expat areas are two completely different worlds. This is Providencia. It's right next to Las Condes business district. But with much less traffic, more greenery, and a cozier vibe.
This area is really designed for living. There aren't many offices, business centers, or towers. There are lots of green zones, and it's a safe neighborhood. There's just one downside: the location of our house. We can hear the carabineros singing. 3 times a day, they play the trumpet, march, and sing hymns together. We had no idea the police would sing that loudly several times a day. And do you know when the earliest performance is? Around 5 or 6 a.m.
Eugenia lives in a modern complex, and she gave me a personal tour.
This is a built-to-rent building, meaning all the apartments here are for long-term rental only. We have 2 swimming pools and a large gym. All of this is included in the rent and free to use. There's a basketball court right below us on the level -1. There's also a big co-working space with a separate room for calls. Expats really love this building because it has everything you need and it's comfortable to live here year-round. The rent is around 1.2 to 1.3 million pesos, depending on the season, since heating and electricity are paid separately.
Another favorite spot for expats is Barnechea. It's part of Greater Santiago, basically like Cascais near Lisbon. Here, new neighborhoods were built at the foothills of the mountains. Instead of office towers, you'll find villas and townhouses, higher standard of living and better environment. This area is located right in front of the Andes. Golf courses, gated communities, high-rise buildings. Very interesting. Everything here is secure, with tall fences.
The advantage is you get your own private territory, a private complex where only well-off families live. And it's far from city noise and chaos. There's a private park with a mountain stream and even a waterfall. For me, this is the best place to live with a family in Chile, with the best climate, because climate can even vary from one neighborhood to another. This townhouse is 200 square meters, 2 floors, 4 bedrooms with its own land plot. The price is around $750,000 to $800,000.
I really like Santiago. I've explored it top to bottom. The worst areas, the best areas. This location is an elite residential area. That's probably the best way to describe it. It's a golf club with a fitness center and a restaurant. The estate is huge, around 250 to 300 houses, all part of the establishment, the elite. Buying a house here? A mid-sized lot costs around $3 million. Renting? About $10,000 per month. I showed one of the 3 hot air balloons here. And, as I joke, they could probably count every hair on your mustache. That's how serious the security system is. There are several cameras covering 360 degrees.
If we're talking investment, it's more profitable to invest in ready-to-rent property in the city center. If we're talking about investing in construction in Chile, the country has a unique system for buying property off-plan. It works like this. You pay a 10 to 15% deposit with no payment plan during the construction period. I've never seen anything like this anywhere else. The second payment is about 85 to 90% and only made once the property is fully built, when all permits are issued, and then you pay the remaining balance. This is possible because Chilean developers have been operating for 25 plus years. They are stable organizations that build with their own funds, which is unusual in real estate. Or they may use cheap bank loans made possible by Chile's stable economy. The primary benefit of purchasing property in Chile is that, based on verified statistics, the market has consistently grown by 10% annually over the past 15 years. If you're a resident of Chile, there are no taxes on resale. For example, if you buy an apartment for $200,000 and sell it a year later for $250,000, the tax is zero.
In Chile, real estate prices have risen 275% over the last 15 years. Forecasts say that by 2026, about a quarter of all Chilean properties will belong to foreigners. Overall, I like Santiago. Now, I'm heading somewhere else. I'm moving my luggage, and will be by the ocean in a couple of hours. I've arrived on the Pacific coast, in the town of Concón. Lomas de Montemar is popular with expats who move here with families. There are prestigious international schools and several good kindergartens. I'm walking through Concón, and honestly, it feels like, I don't know, California, somewhere near San Diego, or a few similar places. I really like it here. It's comfortable, homes in different styles, a pleasant spot. By the way, check out these unusual signs that show where kids live. You can see a small bike, and the sign says, drive around slowly, max 10 kilometers per hour. These 3-story houses cost around $400,000 to $700,000. And renting one is usually about $2,000 per month. What else I've noticed in Chile's upscale neighborhoods, whether in Santiago or coastal towns, is gated residential complexes. No thefts, no break-ins, electric fences, so you'd get shocked if you tried to sneak in. So I won't even try. And there are concierges, security guards, so you need permission to enter. You feel safe everywhere. This is the big sand dune in Concón, in the Costa de Montemar area, a new residential district right on the oceanfront, a breathtaking place both in beauty and vibe, a protected nature monument right next to modern high buildings.
Concón used to be a fishing village. We're standing on dunes that are protected, so you can't drive or build on them. But about 10 years ago, construction was allowed. And boom, everything exploded. All of this has been built in the last 10 years. People from everywhere live here. Americans, Germans, Kazakhs, Russians, Ukrainians, everyone.
In these large condominiums, you usually find pools. One is outdoor, often cold, and one is heated indoors. A gym, parking, and almost every building has a quincho, a grill for BBQs.
Why this place and not Santiago or Patagonia?
The ocean. The ocean means everything.
I've explored the most popular expat neighborhoods in Santiago and the coastal towns. I wanted to find a place that felt comfortable for me. For me, it was important to be near big water and away from chaos. So I decided to stay a few days in the small village of Quinte, in a little house by the ocean. From the Airbnb photos, it looked amazing. But I didn't expect that when I'd arrived, I'd get this mind-blowing wow. Photos are one thing, but being there in person multiplies the emotions tenfold. Pure joy, love, happiness. You can definitely find it in Chile. I've already spent 7 days in Santiago, a few more on the Pacific coast. Explored different neighborhoods and golf courses, high buildings, and I can say the options here are huge. It depends on what do you prefer. Modern glass skyscrapers next to shopping malls, or living with mountain views near golf courses with security everywhere, or waking up to the ocean every day, or escaping to a tiny seaside village in a cozy little house. Chile is a diverse and truly inspiring place for expats. And I can honestly say that I feel it here. A powerful place. Is it your place? You decide.
Tranquila mañana, you have to get used to it. It's often a downside, especially in services. If you ask my husband, he'll say, "Oh my God, they're so slow." Nothing can be solved in one day, no matter the issue, banking or paperwork, nothing.
The biggest downside in Chile is the banking system. First, all banks close at 2 p.m. Second, to get any banking product, you need legal residency, at least a residence permit. Even then, your account is limited. You can't deposit more than $10,000 in a month, or you can't send more than $5,000, or keep more than $5,000 in the account. I've already gone through all this. I have permanent residency, no restrictions, credit cards, but you have to earn it.
The biggest downside, and probably the main one, is the limited market. Chile has only 19.5 million people. Yes, there's a strong middle class and good metrics across the board. But for big business, the country doesn't offer huge opportunities.
For me personally, as someone who travels a lot, a major downside is still the distance. Traveling to other continents from Chile isn't as convenient as flying from a hub like Istanbul, Dubai, or Panama City.
A big downside for me is the icy ocean. Living near the ocean and not being able to swim is, well, it's just tough, but it's incredibly beautiful. Every day I look out the window and think, oh my God, it's so beautiful.
In total, we spend about $2,000 per month. That includes rent, groceries, and car rental if we travel somewhere. Plus, restaurants, cafes, entertainment, museum tickets, more or less all within that budget. I think that's significantly lower than in Europe for a similar lifestyle.
If you have a work contract, if your job provides insurance and other benefits, then living here is absolutely wonderful. Chile is a country of amazing products, a place with super high-quality food.
Everything here is organic. They hardly use any fertilizers because there aren't many pests.
The salmon is amazing, the blueberries are incredible, and the seasonal fruit here is just top-notch. The cherries are huge and perfect. I've never eaten sweet cherries like this before.
In Chilean restaurants and shops, it's easy to find organic fruits and vegetables, sustainably raised meat, and responsibly caught fish. Chile's coastline stretches 4,000 kilometers, creating endless access to seafood and fresh ocean fish. This makes the country very appealing for expats who care about healthy eating.
Chileans love sugar. But a few years ago, the government made a move toward healthier food. So, all sugar products now have big black labels, like a stop sign.
Here are the labels. It means there's a lot of sugar and other unhealthy stuff. They don't hide it. They tell the truth and warn that it's bad for you. I wouldn't buy this one, but I'd definitely buy that one.
I keep saying it. Chile is an underrated gem for tourism. Everyone goes to Peru or Argentina, but they miss out on this wonder of life called Chile.
For traveling, Chile is probably perfect. The widest point is about 200 kilometers. On one side, you have mountain landscapes. On the other, 4,500 kilometers of coastline, from black sand to white, and everything in between. An hour and a half, and you're at the ski slopes. An hour and a half, and you're at the ocean.
Chile gives you the chance to experience any natural environment. In one day, you could be in the desert, and with enough resources, you could reach Antarctica by plane or boat, through fjords, or even climb a glacier. The most unforgettable thing I've done in Chile? A yacht trip to Antarctica. It's a stunning place like nothing else. I also love the W Trek in Torres del Paine in Patagonia. An incredibly beautiful trek. Glaciers, mountains, cliffs. Absolutely breathtaking. Here, you can have everything you want.
Michael and I have already done some traveling around Chile. We've been to the Atacama Desert, seen the wonders of Easter Island, and even climbed up a volcano crater. Recently, we returned from a big expedition in Patagonia. My son and I are learning geography through travel, and soon we'll share this experience in new films. Yeah, Chile feels like it was made for nature expeditions. But to live here and enjoy its beauty, you have to accept its wild side. Chile is in the top 5 most seismically active countries in the world. Only the Philippines, Mexico, Indonesia, and Japan shake more often. The thing is, Chile sits right on the Earth's fault line. When massive tectonic plates shift, the whole country trembles. In 1960, Chile experienced the most powerful earthquake in human history with a magnitude 9.5 on the Richter scale.
Earthquakes are common here, sometimes reaching magnitudes of 7. We've even experienced tremors between 6.5 and 5.5 where we live. However, they are very light, as nothing falls and everything stays in place.
I think we felt two like minor quakes at one point because we thought it was a truck driving by. But we did see a crack in one of the walls. So we're like, oh, so that was an earthquake.
But in 2010, Chile had its strongest quake in half a century, changing the lives of millions. Hearing about these natural disasters can be intimidating. But if you look at expat hubs around the world, something happens everywhere. California, 100 years ago. An earthquake completely destroyed San Francisco, yet thousands still moved there. Portugal. Lisbon survived Europe's most devastating earthquake. The 2004 tsunami wiped several islands in the Maldives off the map, and coastal cities in Sri Lanka. Indonesia is relocating its capital from Jakarta because of constant flooding. Thailand. Did you see what happened to a rooftop pool during an earthquake in Bangkok? Nature is different everywhere. Some places have hurricanes, floods, fires, and volcanoes. In Chile, It's earthquakes. But what's important, how a country adapts to its nature. In Chile, they've discovered to reduce earthquake risks almost to zero thanks to the way buildings are constructed.
Houses here have long been built using special techniques that, according to Chileans, can withstand up to 9.7 to 10 magnitude earthquakes. To get a house approved, you have to go through 7 circles of hell. Every millimeter is strictly checked.
Here, they won't build a house that doesn't meet super high standards. Just look at Chile's landscapes. So many homes are built into hills and mountains, and they really know how to do it.
The Costanera Center is also a unique landmark. This is a Chilean wonder. It's the tallest building in South America, 300 meters above the ground, sometimes swaying like nowhere else.
That's why real estate in Chile is among the most expensive in Latin America. It takes more concrete, steel, and technology to withstand these earthquakes.
Yes, there are earthquakes, but you get used to them quickly. After the third one, no problem at all.
Every expat chooses where to live based on personal priorities. Some care about climate, zero taxes, or business opportunities. For me, it's about feelings and spiritual transformations that happen in a place. Basically, these are my places of power. For me, such places have been Atacama in India and Camino de Santiago. It's hard to explain how it works, but I feel these places of power and want to share the ones I found in Chile. One of them is the retreat center, Canal, perched on a cliff by the Pacific Ocean. It was Philip who showed me that place. When we arrived, it felt like we hadn't gone through a gate, but a portal, landing somewhere between India and Japan. Yes. Totally unexpected. It's like a dream place. Hard to explain. It's a spiritual formula for home. Stone by stone, over decades, it was built by one of the most respected and powerful yoga masters, Gustavo Ponce.
Since I was 18 years old, I had the vision that I wanted to build this place. I rented a small airplane and I said to the pilot, I know this place is somewhere along the coast. And when we passed on top of this place, I said to the pilot, go around, because I felt the energy. This is the place. This is what I have been seeing for so many years. There was an unproductive land. It was just wild.
At every turn, I found myself holding my head in amazement at Gustavo's homes. Oh my God, that's incredible. The architecture blends seamlessly with nature. For example, these aren't decorative handles, but whale bones, light bulbs, and shells. And the main house is fully built into the cliff. Usually, how do they build? Tear everything down, put up a structure, and forget nature. Here, it's different. Nature is the chief architect. Even the entrance goes through the rock. Honestly, I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. 100 out of 100. That's part of the rock. On top of the house, there's not a rooftop, but a lighthouse. I love discovering places that are unique in meaning and spiritual energy, and sharing them with you. Philip wants to develop an eco-project here. If this location interests you, write to me, and I'll be happy to share more info. Another place of power can even be meeting a person. Just a conversation that changes you and your life formula. My neighbor in the village of Quinte was a fascinating Chilean. He built a wooden cabin on a tiny peninsula and has lived there for 50 years. Being there, I felt like I'd visited Hemingway himself.
What is it like to wake up every day in this place?
You're free. You feel yourself free. They say this hill is magic.
Wow.
In the end, it has no magic in itself. The magic is the one you place into it. It's the way of living as free as possible.
Another significant place of power I want to share is the Bahá'í Temple. There are only 8 of these temples in the world, and the only one in South America is located here in Santiago. The temple looks like a lotus flower. The lotus grows from mud, it blooms toward the light. It's a symbol that people can rise above any difficulty and truly unfold. Believe me, Santiago is a serious, powerful city, and at least for someone coming here, not just as a tourist, but as a person looking to transform their life, something may happen here.
Right now, I wouldn't want to live anywhere other than Chile. I'd give Chile an 8 out of 10, mainly lowering it because of safety. Otherwise, I personally see no major downsides.
I'd rate it 9 out of 10. For me, this is the ideal situation, so living surrounded by incredible natural wealth. The Andes, the ocean, the desert, volcanoes, and forests. And being able to integrate all of this into art. I called this project Terra Incognita, and it's really about my personal experience of living here.
You want to believe there's something better. But honestly, when my wife and I looked at the world map, the globe, we couldn't think of a better choice than Chile. And judging by how often we meet expats from Europe, especially many from Germany, people come here, fall in love, and stay. It was truly a pleasure to share our experiences about this country, which has become our second home.
I didn't come here because of a contract or connections. It was just how I felt. It was a risk, but it paid off. Many people think Chile is far away. So you need to understand in advance what's close or far for you before moving. Or research the market for your business and activities.
Right now, I honestly couldn't imagine going back to our continent and living in that crazy, non-stop rhythm again. Freedom, for me, is being able to wear what I want, drive what I want, and live how I choose. I don't have to prove who I am or show my status for people to take me seriously.
If I wanted to give birth and get a passport, I'd go to Brazil. But if I wanted to give birth and stay to live, I'd choose Chile, if the country really suits you. 'Cause yes, you'll get the passport, just not super fast.
So, is this place really a 10 out of 10 for living?
Why am I here if it's not 10 out of 10? I always go where it's 10 out of 10.
I'm not going to tell you anything. You come and experience. You like? Fine. You don't like? Fine. At least you will know that you didn't like, but you have the experience.
Honestly, when you're exploring a country through videos, photos, or other people's stories, it's impossible to truly feel if it's truly your place. The only way is to go there yourself, spend weeks, maybe even months in a location. When you first arrive at a great spot that impresses you, that matches your taste, I'm sure it helps you understand if you should be here or not. These kinds of tests are definitely worth doing. For me, I really love this place. It's amazing. I'd love to bring my family here and spend a few weeks exploring different locations in Chile. It's incredible. I don't even know how to rate it. 10 out of 10 is 100% accurate. Any move is a new chapter in life. We never know where it might lead us until we make the move. Expat life has a superpower as it expands your consciousness and can change your life. New experiences, habits, approaches. All of this definitely comes with living abroad. If you're curious about expat life, write to me. Anatoly, I'm interested in Chile, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, or anything else. I'll be happy to share my personal experience with you.
Chile! Chile!
Beauty! That's it! I hope you find my channel useful. Bye for now, and I'll see you somewhere on our planet.